Sunday and welcome back to my channel and happy DIY December. We are a couple weeks into DIY December. We've done tons and tons of really fun projects and we have a couple weeks left, so there's lots of really great things coming our way. We're going to be making a DIY December project today and I'm really excited about this one. This was something that I didn't have planned for us when I started planning out what we would do this month, but I think it's going to be a really great one. I think you guys are really going to like it, and it's kind of in the same vibe of the natural fall decor that we did back in November, I think. And so we're going to be doing a similar sort of feel where we're going to be using natural elements, some really pretty simple Christmas pieces, and combining them to make some items that could be really beautiful centerpieces or simple decorations in your home, or just little add-on things that you can place somewhere that make your space look really special. And I think that these smaller decor pieces that we make have the biggest impact on your home because they are so delicate and pretty, but they really catch your eye. So we're going to be doing two DIY projects today. Both are super budget friendly, take very little time, and are really fun to do. We're going to make a glass Christmas tree that's going to have some natural elements inside and will be lit up. And then we're also going to make a kind of like a little Christmas village scene inside of a glass vase or like container, anything that you have already on hand. So both are going to be really beautiful. They're going to go with any style of decor and really just kind of step up your Christmas vibe in your home. If you've been enjoying DIY December and the videos that I've been putting out on the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this every week. For all of December, we're going to have new videos every Thursday and Sunday. We're going to get right into it and we're going to start making our Christmas decorations. Okay guys, so the first project that we're going to be doing is some lit up Christmas trees. And so the lights for these, I'm actually going to put on the outside as a decoration on the table. And then I'm going to put the natural elements inside of these Christmas trees. Both of these are glass trees. They have different designs on them just to kind of diversify the look of wherever you're going to put these. So if you're putting them separate, then it doesn't matter as much. If you're putting them together, then it just kind of gives a little bit more texture to the space that you're putting these in. And so I think it just makes it a little bit more interesting, but you can always also have them be a little bit more uniform. So I got both of these Christmas trees at Target in their dollar section. This was a super good deal. The only thing with these Christmas trees, this particular kind, is that they don't have a base to them. They're open. So that's something that I didn't realize when I got these because they were covered on the bottom when I got them. For that, we have a couple of solutions that we're going to work with. But before we get to that, we're going to start to kind of decorate them. So this is super quick, super simple, and I think is going to be a really beautiful decor piece. To decorate these, you're going to need some faux greenery, or if you have greenery in your yard that you think is really pretty and Christmassy, or if you have clippings from a Christmas tree, you could go to a Christmas tree farm and get some of their fresh clippings. You could put those in here as well and have them last for the season and then take them out and put in new ones next year. But if you don't have that, or you don't want to do fresh clippings, then what you can do is get some faux greenery and you'll just do it this one time and then it'll be ready to go for Christmases to come. I went ahead and I grabbed some Christmassy faux greenery. I got this at Joann. That's where I get pretty much all my faux greenery because I just think they have really good quality faux florals there, and then everything is always on sale there, so that's always great. I got these there. This was $10 for this little bundle, but it was 70% off, so it actually was only $3, and then I had an extra coupon, so it was even less. You get this whole thing for like $2, and we're definitely not going to use all of it, so this is what I'm going to be using. And then I also already had some little mini pine cones that are glittery. I'm going to try and use some of these in our natural elements as well. That is what is going to go inside of my Christmas tree. You can put anything that you like in here. You could go and grab some twigs and pine cones and pieces of greenery from your yard and put all of those in here and have a fresh arrangement, and that could totally work as well. What we're going to do is cut some of our two natural elements that we're using and put them inside of here, and then we'll look at how we can kind of close up the base. I'm going to decorate with some lights laid out around them. I'm going to start with my greenery. Okay, so I cut just a few pieces of our greenery and then we can always go back and get more. And then I also cut a couple of our glittery pine cones, and then I have one of our long ones that we can try putting in as well. This is super, super simple. All that we're gonna do is put our greenery inside of our tree, just like this. And you can add in one of your little pine cones if you want, and then kind of put your greenery around it. I think that would be really pretty. And we're literally just going to place it around however looks nice to you. You can use any elements that you want or that you have. And just like that, you have a super beautiful Christmas piece that you can put out, and the lights are just going to kind of shine throughout all of the glass and show everything inside even better. You can totally leave it like this. Nothing is coming out of here. It's pretty secure. The other option would be to take one of these bigger pine cones, and because they are larger, they don't fit as well into the base, but you can kind of wedge it in and that will seal it off. You can do this and very easily push that in and everything is secure. And then our last option is to take a jar lid that fits this size opening. So this one is for a jelly jar, and it doesn't fit perfectly to where I could just leave it like that. But if you added a tiny, tiny bit of hot glue and then put some gold robin buff on here, you wouldn't even notice. It would totally hold it in place and this would be sealed shut. Those are kind of the three options that I see that would best fit this design. Any one of those would work. I think you just need to think about if you're using fresh or faux elements, because if you have fresh elements, you don't want to seal it shut because you won't be able to get them out. Super simple, really pretty, and I think it's going to look really, really nice when the lights are around it. We are going to do our second one the exact same way, and then we'll be able to put our lights out and decorate with them. Okay, so before we move on to our next one, I think that I'm actually going to change my plan, and instead of putting the lights around the outside of the trees, I want to put them inside because I think it looks really pretty outside, but inside the tree is just really going to light everything up and make it look extra special. I'm going to pull one of these branches out. That way I can get my lights up a little bit higher. So I just kind of want to put some of the lights in, and then we can put everything back in how it was. And I'm going to run this same strand of lights to my second tree. If you didn't want to do that, you could totally just put all of your lights into one tree, but I think this way then I can have lights inside and outside the trees. Let's see how that looks. Pine cone is going to hold our lights in to our tree. So now this is our kind of updated version with the lights inside the tree, and I think it's super, super pretty. And then we can kind of wrap some of the extra lights outside and pass it on to our second tree when we get that one all done. I'm going to set our first tree off to the side, and we have our second tree to work with, which will have the exact same sort of process and technique happening, but we want to kind of leave some extra lighting in between the two trees so that we can wrap them. I'm going to set a little bit of it off to the side, and then I'll be able to start putting some of my lights into my tree. Because my lights are kind of fighting me and wanting to come out, I'm going to put one of my branches in to hold them at the top of the tree so that I can add some more. And then we can add our little pine cone in, and that's going to push some more of the lights up to hold them in place. And every time that we add something, we'll be able to put a little bit more of our lights in because they won't fall out as easily. There we go. And then we'll add in our last couple pieces of greenery. And because I'm using faux florals, I can kind of bend them to fit into the shape, which is really nice because it makes everything really compact and a lot easier for me to work with. The last thing that I'll add is my pine cone that's going to act as our base. Just like that. And here's our second Christmas tree. This we will just tuck behind something so that you don't see it. And then we'll have our 2 trees with our strands of lights that we can wrap around or have on the table next to them. So I think they're really pretty, really simple, but just a really beautiful statement piece for the holidays. We are going to put these out and decorate with them, and then we'll work on our holiday scene. Okay, so for our next project, we're gonna make kind of like a snowy village scene. And so the idea with this is that we are going to put some fake snow on the outside of the glass as well, so that it kind of looks like you're looking through a frosted window. So it's kind of like snow globe vibes, but also just like a little village scene. For this, you're gonna need a glass vessel. Any one that you have will do. You can do any size because you'll tailor what you're putting inside of it to fit the size jar that you have. Mine's larger, so I'm able to put more things in it, and that's kind of how I wanted it to be, but you could make this any size for whatever space you're putting it in. This is the one that I will be using. And then you're gonna need some little figurines, animals, trees, houses, whatever you want to put inside. I got these ones at Joann, and like always, they're on sale. All of these were $10, 70% off, so they were $3 each, and then I had an extra coupon, so they ended up being like $2 each, so $8 to get all of the pieces for my village scene, and this one actually lights up as well. It's a really, really good deal. I think they're gonna be super cute. These 3 were ornaments, so I'm just gonna cut off the twine at the top because we don't need that part. And they have this little metal piece here, but I'm not super worried about it. I don't think you'll really be able to notice it much, so I'm just gonna leave that rather than try to pull it out. These 2 trees have metal pieces, but they twist out very easily, so I'm just gonna twist them out so we don't see those. My 2 houses are ceramic and my 2 trees are wood. They're very simple, clean kind of Christmas looks. It goes with that vintage Scandinavian feel that I like. Whatever style decor you have in your house or Christmas decor you have, you could pick items to go inside of your glass scene that fit your style. I'm gonna set our village off to the side while we kind of put our snow onto our glass vessel. So I got this fake snow on Amazon. I'll link it for you guys along with anything else that I can find. It has kind of like a reflective glittery look to it, which is what I wanted. We are going to put some of this on the outside of our glass container as well as the inside a little bit. To do that, I'm going to take this little pre-cut piece of parchment paper that I have so that it'll catch any of the falling snow. And then I have a paintbrush and some Mod Podge, and that's how we're going to connect our snow to our glass container. For my particular container, it does have some very, very slight seams where the 2 pieces were connected, I guess. And so I want to make sure that those are not what we're looking through into our town. I don't want to look through a seam. Those are going to be definitely covered by the snow. I'm going to turn mine like this, and what I'm looking at right now is going to be the opening that we look through into the town. I'm going to take my paintbrush and Mod Podge and just kind of brush some of it over my container, and then we can kind of refine the window later on. And I'm just going to do this section by section so that it doesn't get too messy. Here is my snow. Just going to hold my glass vessel off to the side so anything falls into the parchment paper. You can use like a spoon or whatever, just go for it like I am. And we're going to try and sprinkle it onto our vessel. A little bit fell out, but I think it definitely helps. Okay, so once you get it kind of coated, then we're going to shake off any excess into the parchment paper. So this is going to catch it so that we can reuse it and not just waste it. All right, and then we'll just keep going like that. We're going to go all the way around, and then we can kind of make our window shape. Okay, so now we have our glass jar pretty much covered all the way around except for this strip right here. So we can kind of carve out the window shape. And I'm also going to take some of this excess and just sprinkle it on the top and let some of it fall in because we're going to put some in there anyway, so that the rim of the glass also has snow. Okay, so we want to start to kind of carve out this window shape. So I'm going to make mine kind of like a large oval opening that we're looking through. Okay, so I'm going to paint out my window so that it has like a large oval shape right here. So pretty much I'm going to be putting some snow up in here and then like that down here, and everything else will stay open. So I'm just going to lightly paint some Mod Podge onto here because I don't want it to drip. It will dry clear, but I just don't want any snow to land in a place that I didn't want to put it. And because we're doing such a thin layer, it is drying pretty quickly, which is good because that means that when we go to put our items in, it'll already be dry. So I'm going to try using a spoon for this part so it's a little bit easier for me because it's going to be kind of hard to tilt it. So we'll see how this goes. And then we're going to do our lower bit of Mod Podge as well. And this is just kind of part of it. You're going to get snow on the surface that you're working on, but we can just wipe it up and put it inside of our container later. So same thing down here. I'm just going to do that kind of arch shape with the Mod Podge. So for this part, because it's a little bit harder to tilt the vessel since it's drying, I'm just kind of scooping up some snow and pressing it against our glass. And then of course if it dries and you need a second layer, you can always go back and add a little bit more. So then any snow that you can get from over here that you don't have to pick your vessel up for, you can just kind of scoop up and put inside. And then what's left later, when we pick up our vessel, we can dump into our cottage scene on top of our figures. Okay, so this is kind of the general look that we're going for the outside. So we have it coated all the way around. It's pretty covered. You can't really see through except for in our window, which is exactly what I want. I want it to just be a view right here. The next thing that we want to do, and we really only have a couple steps left, we're pretty much done at this point. It's a very quick project, but it's going to be super beautiful. So I want to take some of our snow and just pour it into the base so that we have some snow in our scene as well. And we still have probably a half a bag of snow left over, so if you have more than one project that you want to do with fake snow, then you can totally do that with what you have left from this one. It's super simple. Last couple steps, we're just going to place our items into our little village scene the way that we like it, however it looks best to you, and then we'll be able to decorate with it. that wraps up our video for Sunday. I hope that you enjoyed making some beautiful, simple Christmas pieces with me. I think they turned out really, really nice. And I'm loving just kind of the special touch that they give to our home. I think that they just have a really clean, classic kind of look to them and can be used in tons of places around your house. So I hope that you enjoyed this week's video, and if you give them a try, don't forget to let me know. We will have new videos out every Thursday and Sunday for all of December, so we have a new video coming out on Thursday. And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can see all of my new videos in DIY December and in the new year. We're gonna have tons of really, really fun and exciting videos coming out in the new year for all of you. So I'll see you all this week on Thursday for another video.